Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I hope you guys are having another fantastic day. In today's video, what we're going to be talking about is the redistribution of wealth. If we just piled up all of this money that everybody has and distributed it evenly amongst everybody, would that realistically work? But before we get into it, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. I'm always talking about ways to help you become more mentally prepared for wealth, but also give you some practical tips that'll help you get there as well. So definitely smash that subscribe button. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so this is a topic that I've actually heard a lot about. And obviously we see a lot in the news right now about taxing the rich and how they're not paying their fair share, and all of these new age type ideas are coming up right now of how we can level the playing field, if you will, for this idea of everybody having a lot of wealth. And some of them, they bring up a valid point, but the one that I want to focus on right now is the redistribution of wealth, and will it work? So let's go ahead and get into redistribution of wealth. What exactly is it? It's an idea that we basically take all the money from the rich people and everybody on the planet. We divvy it up evenly so everybody is on the exact same playing field. And at face value, when you think about it, I mean, from an equality standpoint, if we want everybody to be equal, it makes a lot of sense. And back in the day, I would tend to agree with you. I would say, yes, that would be a fantastic idea. But the more I learn about mindset, the more I realize this idea of redistribution of wealth really wouldn't work as well as people think it would. And here's the reason why. One factor that needs to be thought about when it comes to the redistribution of wealth is the number one, spending of money that the people that have a lot of money do, and then also the people that don't have a lot of money do. So as an example, a lot of wealthy people, what they do is they spend their money on assets in order to create more money in their life. So they're having their money work for them. And a lot of times when it comes to people that don't have a lot of money, what they do is they'll spend money on things that they don't need and aren't making more money for them. So the example I'll give you is a new TV, for instance. People are going out and buying new TVs every year or 2 years or whatever because there's a new latest and greatest. It's the exact same thing with the iPhone, right? It's a $1,600 iPhone right now, and how many people are going to be lined up to go get it? But what isn't being talked about is the financial education back of it, because if those same people took that $1,600 and invested it into an asset that could make them money, they would start to build wealth, therefore eventually climbing the ladder and reaching the same level that the wealthy do. So that's one thing to think about. And the other thing to think about is mindset, the mindset of each party itself. So people that are super wealthy are extremely money conscious. So what that means is they know where every single penny is going and they don't waste any of it. They're using it for the betterment of themselves, but also the betterment of other people. And that's a big one, the betterment of other people. See, people think that the money is the root of all evil, and that's not true. It's what people do with money that makes it evil. And a lot of times, wealthy people, what they'll do is they'll put it into projects that help create a better society for everybody. So a lot of them are philanthropists or humanitarians, things like that. So they're making sure that the money that they use is for the betterment of themselves as well as other people. A lot of times, people that don't have a lot of money, the last thing that they're thinking about is charity. They don't want to give their money to charity because in their mindset, they don't have enough of it to give. Therefore, if I don't have enough of it to give, their cup doesn't runneth over. That's not how it works. It's, I need to hoard all this money because I feel like I'm going to lose it. And when you have a fear that you're going to lose that money, guess what? You're going to lose it. Whereas the rich person's like, I'm just breathing this energy of money into the universe and it's going to come back to me. Next is that a lot of times people that don't have a lot of money, they're not using it to better anybody else either. They don't really necessarily think that this is me giving this money to other people is going to help, but also me investing it into myself, whether it be education of how to spend this money better, have this money work for me, or going to a better school or what have you, that thought process isn't really there. So the idea of using money to better themselves or other people isn't necessarily there. So they're not utilizing money to its fullest potential to ultimately build assets, i.e. not only things that make you money, but this too, right? They're not using that money to build those things up, which will ultimately lead to more wealth. And so that's why I think that this idea of redistribution of wealth really wouldn't work. I think what we would see is over the course of 5 to 10 years, all of the money would wind up in the same hands as it was when we first had this idea of redistributing the wealth, because people don't change their habits at the end of the day. And if you don't change your habits, nothing in your life is going to change. So tell me what you think in the comment section below. And with all that being said, I do want to thank you guys for tuning into this week's video. If you did enjoy it, give it a big thumbs up. Other than that, as I mentioned at the start of the video, I'm always putting out new content specifically around money and how to create more of it, especially not only from a mindset standpoint, but also a tangible standpoint, something you can hold in your hand and create more wealth for yourself and future generations. So if you did like this content, hit that subscribe button. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.